The men's pommel horse final. We begin with Turkey and Ferhat Adıcan, team bronze medalist. He's just won a medal on the pommel horse at the Mediterranean Games. Best known for his parallel bars work, but he's great on this apparatus. From Armenia, having turned 38 a few days ago, Haruchun Merdinian has made it in as the third strongest in qualification. He was the European champion in 2016, the first ever Armenian European champion. A youngster, by comparison, is the 36-year-old Filip Uday of Croatia, Olympic silver medalist in 2008, the first ever Croatian artistic gymnastics medalist at the Olympic Games. He won a silver medal at the European Championships in the same year and repeated it in 2020. Niels Dunkel of Germany, the sixth strongest in qualification, but with a high difficulty score. Silver medalist at the National Championships. The man with the best execution, France's own Benjamin Osberger, from very close to the German border in Colmar near Strasbourg. Fifth best overall in qualifying, a very nice gymnast on the pommel horse. The top man in qualification, Great Britain's Joe Fraser. He's just won the Commonwealth Games pommel horse title. And he's won the all-around and the team title here at the European Championships. Now then, from the Netherlands, 23-year-old Laurent de Monk, second best performer in qualification. He came almost out of nowhere with a 6.3 difficulty score. He's really in contention. And here is the reigning European champion on the pommel horse. So one of the most surprising winners at last year's European Championships, Artur Davtyan, the second Armenian in the final. Best known for his vaulting, but a gymnast who will capitalise if others struggle with their execution. He was the 8th best in qualifying. Isn't that an interesting field, the men's pommel horse competition, with the top qualifier, Joe Fraser of Great Britain. Why, that would be the cruelest thing on earth if I were to ask you right now to pick a winner, so I'm not going to, because we've debated this one, haven't we, for basically days, and we're still no clearer.
One thing it would be good to remember going into this pommel horse final is what we witnessed last year at the European Championships, where there seemed to be an order. Things seemed logical. It seemed that certain things were going to happen, and absolutely nothing that we predicted came to fruition. It's up for grabs.
A lot of people have historically equated the pommel horse with the balance beam in women's artistic gymnastics. There is an argument to be said actually that the uneven bars is a more interesting comparison to make.
Certainly balance factors into the pommel horse, but when it comes to not being able to stop once you've begun, it is more like the uneven bars. You can't take a breath, and when you get a bit off in your swing, and they do refer to it as swing on the pommel horse, it can be really hard to correct.
Well, for those out there who might be relatively new to watching pommel horse gymnastics, how's it going to be won?
It's going to be won through difficult skills like this, but also through not making errors in form, through not splitting the legs, through not disturbing the rhythm of the routine, through not bending the body. We talk about the clearance of the hips over the horse, and certainly it's going to be a game of difficulty. So looking down the starting order at the D scores from the qualification, things are very close. It's hard to predict. It's up for grabs.
And one thing that is very clear in pommel horse gymnastics is that the moment the body starts to become a little bent in the middle, the moment you start to get closer and closer to the apparatus, it becomes rather a cascade, doesn't it? Well, let's put all of the speculation into practice and see this men's pommel horse final. As is the relatively new format in apparatus finals, 4 will go after their warm-up, then we'll have another warm-up, and the last 4 will go. We start with Ferhat Arujan, the reigning European champion on the parallel bars for the last 2 editions, and he'll be trying to defend his title later on, but now he focuses on the very different challenge of the pommel horse. He's so good on the parallel bars, Ferhat Arujan. We sometimes run the risk of forgetting that he's a very impressive gymnast on this piece.
That's exactly right. Really one of the unsung heroes of European pommel horse work over the last several years. It's really nice to see him in this final, and he certainly has a shot at the medal provided he can hit this routine. Very nice Wendeschwing, moving his body around one pommel. We'll see a lot of that in this final. Matt the Busnari, invented by a great Italian pommel horse worker. Flares up through the handstand, a pirouette, and then back down into flares. You can imagine how difficult that is.
That is some start from Ferhat Arujan of Turkey. Very nice routine. His Busnari was crisply executed. His Magyar Shivado work, absolutely as you would expect from him. Very clean.
Very nice form throughout. Every now and again, there was a bit of a bend of his legs, but it was very slight. On the whole, this was an excellent routine.
It's a splendid demonstration, the slow motion replay of the need for high hips. Just watching for the leg brushes of the handle, there seemed to be one there.
He maintains good clearance of the horse throughout the routine, and that's something to look for too. Sometimes as the gymnast gets tired, the hips drop or droop in the later stages. That didn't happen here.
14.3 in qualification. Real veteran warming up. .266 for Ferhat Arujan. His execution down just a fraction from qualification, less than a tenth. So a similar score from the preliminary round. Whatever happens in this final for Halucun Medinian, can we all just stop for a moment and recognise that being a 38-year-old in a European Championship final is utterly extraordinary? And he was the third best qualifier too.
Third best qualifier with a routine whose difficulty can take on anybody's in this final. 0.3 of a point higher than what we just saw from Arujan. Once again, the Wendeschwing, this time between the pommels. And at the side of the horse. Cool, calm, collected, and beautiful.
It's one of the great cliches when a more senior competitor does well to say rolling back the years, but you know what he just did? That was the Harutjin Medinian of days of yore. Magical stuff from one of the masters.
That is also the Harutjin Medinian of the present. What a phenomenal exercise. Beautiful in all of his elements. Early on we saw the sewn. This once again, you see what precision is necessary in order to do hard pommel horse really well. Maintains good clearance throughout. There were really no questions about whether he was brushing his hips on the apparatus. Complicated handstand pirouetting dismount. Everything was pristine.
He started gymnastics in 1989. That looked better than qualification. More composed. It was 14.733. He's gained almost 2.5 tenths, and would you look at his reaction. His first ever European Championship medal was won 12 years ago in the German capital, Berlin. That was an absolutely sensational display. Here's another master. Filip Ude of Croatia, the 36-year-old from Čakovec in the north of the country, one of the great pommel horse nations. He's competed at 3 Olympic Games and he's been a 2-time European Championship silver medalist.
The Olympic silver medalist on this apparatus in 2008. A man who loves gymnastics and who adores competing and has maintained the quality of work that he's capable of. Magyar and then Shavato traveling forwards and backwards across the horse.
The last 2 competitors have a combined age of 74. That is a little bit of Fantasyland gymnastics from Harutjin Medinian and Filip Ude. I mean, come along now, be serious. How can they be doing this?
Oh, just beautiful gymnastics throughout. Textbook circles. A long and difficult routine that requires a lot of endurance to get through. So nice to see him hitting this consistently. And the almost delicate hand placement. There's grace in addition to power in the way that he does pommel horse. The one thing that he might have wanted from this routine is a handstand pirouetting dismount. But he does fulfill the requirement of the body crossing the horse on the dismount. So there won't be a deduction, I don't think. Just perhaps a bit of difficulty lost potentially.
Croatia's Filip Ude, silver medalist in Lausanne in 2008 and in Mersin in 2020. Can he get another European Championship medal? Some of the youngsters watching on about to compete in this final know they've just been given a fine demonstration. Ude scored 13.933. He's a little down from qualification by half a mark. difficulty not quite there, 5.4. He loses 4/10 from qualification. But again, it's got to be regarded as a quite superb display to be keeping this level going. Niels Dunkel of Germany, 6th in qualification, but the ace up his sleeve is his 6.1 difficulty score. 25-year-old.
Scissor to handstand mount. There's the sewn. It's proven a very popular skill recently on pommel horse. Really important one pommel work, builds his difficulty, and now into the flares.
That's made a very good case. Niels Dunkel of Germany. He's just won a medal at the National Championships on the pommel horse. He might be about to do something even better. Excellent display. Had a certain fluidness to it. That could well challenge.
The question with him is not the difficulty. It's really strong comparatively. It's whether he has managed to raise his execution compared to qualification.
Ja, starke Übung von Niels. Hier sehen wir 360-Grad-Kehre auf einem Arm, den sogenannten Sohn.
Yes, his difficulty score in qualification was the same as Medinian, who's matched that in the final. Medinian's execution 8.633, Dunkel's in qualification 8.266.
Also, der Junge hat sein Zeichen gemacht, würde ich sagen, bei der EM.
They enjoyed it, certainly, and they're right to. One suspects it's going to be close. It's certainly better than qualification. I mean, there can't be any doubt that it was a stronger display than the qualification routine. Oh, he's almost there. 14.633, 1/10 behind Haruchan Medinian. He should be very pleased with that, though. He bows his head in respect to Haruchan Medinian as well. Well, Medinian has just seen off one of the big challengers. He's halfway now to gold, the veteran Armenian. Now we go through the warm-ups for the remaining four competitors. Joe Fraser, Laurent de Monk, Arthur Davtyan. Oh, Benjamin Osberger I forgot to mention as well. Can't forget him, the highest execution in qualification.
The highest execution in qualification, but the lowest difficulty score. So we'll see. Very interesting competitor, Laurent de Monk of the Netherlands, now taking his warm-up.
Yes, he really produced high difficulty in qualifying, 6.3 with an execution of 8.266. He's developed a little bit of late, de Monk. He was 11th in the pommel horse qualification process at the World Championships last year and was the first reserve at last year's European Championship. So to get in as the second strongest qualifier, when we mentioned being somewhat surprised by de Monk, we don't mean that there was a surprise that he's good at pommel horse. We've always known that, but that was a real jump in his qualification performance compared to what we've seen before.
There has quite obviously been an evolution in his routine and the way that he's performed it over the past year or so. He has gone from somebody who is being just outside the cut for making finals to somebody who is qualifying and has real potential to have a medal.
Four to go.
Representing France, für Frankreich,
Benjamin Osberger from France, the fifth strongest in qualification, 14.366. He won't have enormous difficulty compared to some others, so this is all about the crispness of his form. That's a start and a half.
Scissor to handstand, powerful and graceful. Some strong one pommel work with the pirouette. Great body line, just pencil straight. The clearance of the hips over the horse, all strikingly impressive.
You know what, that's a treat of a routine from Benjamin Osberger of France. In terms of the difficulty, it isn't enormous, but the clearance on the apparatus, that certainly was. I mean, just no doubt that he was going to get through that, really.
He never looked like he might be at all off. There was an assurance to this performance. And when we remember that he is only 20 years old, and you think about the potential that this routine has, his potential to add even more difficulty, he's certainly got the basic technique.
There are certain pommel horse gymnasts. The first one that comes to mind for me is the reigning world champion Steven Nedorozic of the USA, who just seems to dangle from the rafters when doing pommel horse. The clearance is so strong, and Osberger had that at points, didn't he? He was so far above the apparatus that you felt a degree of calmness watching him perform. His score is 14.566, goes into third place. He's gained a tenth of difficulty, and he's also gained a little execution. All in all, that's a 2/10 gain. Very well done to him. Displaces Ferhat Arujan, who drops into fourth and exchanges handshakes in a very classy way with all of the others before he departs. Here's the top performer in qualification, but that performance would now only put him into third place in this final. Great Britain's Joe Fraser, who scored 14.6.
Scissor to handstand, and both of his hands step down off the pommel. When you step down off of a pommel with one hand, it is 0.3. When it happens with both hands, it can be up to a point. So, although it was a magnificent save, there is going to be a significant execution deduction for that error right off the bat. But well done to him, no matter how he scores on this, for just keeping his composure and not coming off of the horse. It was amazing.
Amazing is the word to describe Joe Fraser of Great Britain over the past couple of months. He has gone about becoming one of the world's finest gymnasts. He may well find himself priced out of the market in the pommel horse competition, but he's already won an all-around title. He's already won a team title. He's done it having performed so well at the Commonwealth Games, where he won the pommel horse title in his home city, having battled injury and illness.
Good for him for trying to take every single skill to the maximum, for not hesitating, for not showing any fear. Often on pommel horse, when you try to control things too much, that's where you get into trouble. But what control he showed in bringing that skill back on.
He's always said, as Joe Fraser, that he feels so lucky to have training partners and coaches who are able to see the bigger picture, that are able to help him through difficult moments in training. He's regarded it as a team effort to get to where he is now. And look at where he is now. What a championships it's been for him and for the British team. 13.9 for Joe Fraser. So he is in 6th position at the moment. One suspects he knew that was impending, but he'll get himself ready for the parallel bars final. As a result, Haruchun Medinian has just won a medal. No idea what colour. That is still to be determined. And he could play a big part in it. Lauren de Monk of the Netherlands, second best in qualification with a 6.3 difficulty score.
Scissor to handstand, same element we just saw from Joe Fraser. Very nice, quick work too. The Wunderschwings between the pommels. Some very unique combinations as well in this routine. Beautiful Wu travel. Leg separation going into that Wendeschwing. That will be a few tenths of a point in execution. But again, he has the cushion in terms of difficulty.
Interesting, very interesting to see which way this one is going to go now. Lauren de Monk of Netherlands. Very hard routine. And the odd issue here and there, but for the most part, Blythe, this was really well performed, wasn't it?
It is very difficult, and the combinations that he has chosen are quite unique. And yes, it was well performed throughout. Unfortunately, there was one place where we saw the leg split significantly. And you are deducted when that happens for each full turn that it happens on. It really only happened once. Plenty of energy going into the handstand pirouetting dismount. There is only really the one place where he significantly had an error. It'll be interesting to see.
We do see it's 14.7 for Lauren de Monk of the Netherlands. He goes into the silver medal position. Haruchun Medinian has now won at least a silver medal with just one more gymnast to go. So we can tell you that Armenia has won the European Championship title, because the next to go is his own teammate, Artur Davtyan, the reigning European champion. The 30-year-old from Yerevan, just like the man leading the way.
And he proved it last year. You can never count him out on pommel horse. He has actually made steps to evolve this routine. Just a few weeks ago, he had a named skill, his own unique skill on this apparatus confirmed by the International Gymnastics Federation. A small problem on the Wu travel, however, just like we saw from Lauren de Monk. And a weaker dismount than some in this final.
Well, you're looking at the nation that's won the European title, that is clear. And the signs are, one would suggest, very good for the 38-year-old Haruchun Medinian. Artur Davtyan will have his eyes on a different prize, the vault competition coming up later. The Olympian and Olympic medalist. Leg separation there, quite clear to see, and as you said, Blythe, he doesn't have enormous difficulty to provide a cushion, but it was stunning when he won the European Championship title a year ago. It's impressive he's made it into the final again here. This is going to be a glorious moment for Armenia. They will win their third ever European Championship pommel horse title, and the two that have won the previous two are sitting next to each other. 14.033 for Artur Davtyan, and it means that the oldest gymnast at the European Championships has won a gold medal. For the second time ever, Haraldsson Medinian is European champion on pommel horse. That is one of the stories of these European Championships.
Don't ever let anyone tell you in gymnastics that there is an age limit, that you are over the hill after the age of 20, 25, 30, 35. He has just shown us that it's not true. It's not true at all.
First time he won a European Championship medal, it was in 2011 in Berlin. I think this one might well be his greatest ever triumph. And you know what, Blythe? We watched him, didn't we, in training on the first day, and it was apparent that he was looking in the best shape and best form that he's been in for a very long time.
We saw him get up and do a full routine like it was nothing. He looked fresh as a daisy and light as a feather, and that's exactly what he has shown throughout this competition.
And that's the extraordinary thing, isn't it? The consistency from first training routine in the Olympiahalle through to qualification, through to now. He's been unstoppable. Well, we're hearing now from the bronze medalist, Niels Dunkel of Germany.
Du musstest doch ganz schön zittern auf der Couch, oder?
Ja, also ich war bis zum Ende nervös. Es wurde nochmal richtig knapp.
Aber ein Wort, ihr habt da so ein tolles Verhältnis im Raum. Ihr klatscht ab, ihr fiebert auch miteinander, ihr gratuliert euch, ist ein tolles Verhältnis.
Ja, das liebe ich am Turnen, dass wir eine große Familie sind. Jeder gönnt es jedem, dass er seine Medaillen mitnehmen kann und seine Leistung zeigen kann. Und genauso wie ich es den anderen gönne, gönnen sie es mir. Deswegen mega cool.
Sehr schön. Und das Thema World Feed sind, die Bilder gehen in die ganze Welt. Eine Frage in Englisch. Let's talk about the atmosphere here, Olympic Hall. Fantastic, huh?
One word, amazing. I love it. It's wow.
Ihr Applaus, good luck. Waiting for a medal ceremony. Yes.
Bronze medalist Niels Dunkel of Germany. Lauren de Muynck of the Netherlands has just become the first Dutch gymnast ever to win a European Championship pommel horse medal, which is an incredible accomplishment. And Haraldsson Medinian has taken the title, and look at the margin of victory. Look at the top three in terms of the separation, a single tenth dividing them. We thought it would be close after qualification. It really was. This is your bronze medalist, Niels Dunkel of Germany. He jumped up almost 3/10 from qualification. Just the second medal from the unified Germany in the men's pommel horse competition at the European Championships. After Evgeny Spiridonov won a silver in 2006. Winner of the silver medal, Lauren de Muynck of the Netherlands. The first Dutch gymnast ever to win a pommel horse medal at the European Championships. As one of the great Dutch coaches used to say, the late Mitch Venner, he talks about the clicking of heels on pommel horse and parallel bars. Well, Roland de Munck did it during his routine. He can now click his heels in delight as he hops up onto the podium. Some stories, though, are bordering on the absurd. Harutun Medinian of Armenia at 38, the oldest gymnast at the European Championships, wins the European title. Only he knows how he did that. Only he knows how it is he manages to maintain not just his conditioning, but his hunger, his appetite for this. Remarkable athletes. He had a quiet sense that he'd done enough at the end of that. He was right. And we'll bring you now the medal ceremony in the men's pommel horse competition. The victory ceremony in the men's pommel horse competition at the Munich 2022 European Championships. What a close final it turned out to be. Everything you want from a men's pommel horse competition, including a fairy tale victory.
The medals and champions flowers will be presented by Medaillen und Champions Flowers werden überreicht von Matthias Brehme, Bronzemedaillengewinner, Team Olympische Spiele 1972.
They are parading some of the great names from days gone by. Lovely to see.
Gymnastics. Mario Vukoja, Men's Technical Committee, Mitglied von European Gymnastics. Bronze Medalist, Germany, Gewinner der Bronzemedaille für Deutschland, Nils Dunkel.
Nils Dunkel of Germany, a bronze medalist in the men's pommel horse competition. Well done to him. The 25-year-old has just won his biggest ever prize at international level.
Gewinner der Silbermedaille für die Niederlande, Roland de Munck.
It's the same for Roland de Munck of the Netherlands. His first international honours and the first ever for a Dutch man on pommel horse at the European Championships.
Armenia, Gewinner der Goldmedaille und Europameister für Armenien, Harutun Medinian.
The other two have done it for the first time, not him. Repeating his triumph of 2016 and proving that he is here to stay. He's one of the great names in the sport. A pommel horse master who's delivered a master class in the Olympiahalle in Munich. Harutun Medinian of Armenia at 38 for the second time is a European champion. Things like that don't happen, except now they do. And we will now hear the national anthem of Armenia.
The national anthem of Armenia. Die Nationalhymne von Armenien.
Neharenik, our fatherland, the national anthem of Armenia. Lyrics by Mikhail Nalbandian and music by Basel Kanatyan. Played in honour of Haraldsson Medinyan, the champion of Europe on the pommel horse. Armenia arrives on the medal table, as does the Netherlands. 9 nations now have won artistic gymnastics medals in women's and men's competition at Munich 2022. How many more? Well, we still have 4 finals to come.